Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Michael. Michael is from Rochester in New York in the USA. So let's see what Michael has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hey,
Hello, Michael. How are you?
I'm okay. Thanks. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me.
I know you're not feeling very well today. I live with migraine.
Yeah, it happens from time to time.
So tell me, how's your morning going so far?
The morning was rough, but it's gotten a lot better.
Tell me where you're from, Michael.
I'm from Rochester, New York.
Oh, so tell me something interesting about Rochester.
Let's see. Well, it was the birthplace of Kodak,
Okay.
which is the, film and cameras and all of that.
And that's the place where you're born and raised?
Yep.
See. And what do you like the most about your city?
We have a very diverse change of seasons here. So you're going to experience each 4 seasons in all its glory.
I see. And how far are you from New York City?
Probably 8 hours, closer
Oh,
to Toronto, Canada.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's closer to Toronto than New York City.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting. And what do you do for a living, Michael?
Well, up until recently, I was involved in the equestrian industry, with working with horses and people, competing all over the U.S. So I've recently retired from that after 30 something years.
Wow. Amazing. So we've been working for all those years with horses.
Yep, absolutely.
And how did you start your journey?
Well, let's see. As my mom would call it, I had an unhealthy obsession with horses and a lot of determination. So basically, I made it happen on my own. I got myself a job working on a farm at 10 years old and saved up my money, bought my first horse by the time I was 11, and went on from there.
My goodness. Okay, so through the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career. Amazing career work with horses. My goodness, amazing. How lucky you are.
I was blessed, very blessed, yes.
Michael, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Absolutely.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So it's my best friend, okay? Run of fun questions. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Let's do it. Okay, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
First question for you is, what gives you butterflies?
Everything. Everything gives me butterflies. This gives me butterflies. I'm naturally a very shy person and by nature, so and I take everything to heart. So like anything I do, I'm very particular with in my life. So and I like to give it my full gusto, so to speak. So butterflies exist with, pretty much everything I do.
When you say you are very specific about things, what do you mean by that? Give me an example.
Well, I'm particular. So I choose every detail to the nth degree. And I don't do shortcuts, or I don't cheat or do things halfway. So so being specific and being particular, I like to invest myself in anything I take on, whether it's a little meaningless, stupid task or whether it's something grandiose. It all gets the same effort.
I'm sure that's what makes you special, for sure.
Thank you.
Next question, let's do it. Next question for you is, how would you like to be remembered in life?
Let's see. How would I like to be remembered? I'm not sure that I want to be remembered in life. You know, that's a big task. I think I would like to be remembered by the impact I made on my environment and the world around me and those I come in contact with, whether it be some little thing or whether it be some big thing. I would like to leave them with something more than what they met me with.
And when you think about those impacts that you're gonna leave, what that will be?
Care, compassion, and positive and uplifting.
I see. All right. Next one. Let's do it. Okay, Michael, before the next question, as you're saying that we started to work with horses at a very young age, yeah? So tell me, through your career, how long did it take you for you to start work as professional?
Not long at all. I started teaching lessons when I was 14 and had already had 50 students by that time. So I got in very deep, heavy, quick, hard, and fast. Yeah.
And so you're teaching classes to teach them how to ride horses or to do competitions?
Both, yes. So I taught every aspect of, you know, of the horsemanship, whether it's the handling and the communication and to the riding and competing. Competing was very important to me early on. I was very competitive and I loved to compete and I loved to see people win. So the first part of my career was very focused on the competition aspect.
And did you compete yourself as well? Like you were doing some competition as well?
Yes, absolutely. I took 3 riding lessons before my first horse show, which was ridiculous, but it was fun and it went very well. So, yeah.
Okay. Next question for you is, what can make you cry and what can make you really happy?
Let's see.
Do you cry easily?
Not generally. So if I watch TV, I can get emotional. Would bring a tear to my eye, you know, and it's not even real. And what makes me really happy? I love music and all types of music. So I get very excited with the music. And, you know, I get happy about a lot of other things, but to me, it's earned and music is a gift. So listening to music is one thing that makes me very happy.
Tell me one music that when you listen to it, it's impossible to be, you know, still. You need to dance, you need to do something. There is any music that comes to your mind?
Oh gosh. I like such a vast, wide array of music. I think, you know, I love the 80s music, and I love the 2000s, you know, with the club music and the dance music, and as well as just the very simple one-hit wonders, or the more obscure, less unknown stuff as well. Whether it's goth or industrial, or whether it's the top 40, or um, yeah.
Amazing. Very good. Ready for another one?
Yep.
Let's do it. Next question. Okay, Michael, next question is, what makes you most uncomfortable about dating?
Everything. It's not something I've done a lot of. I've avoided it at all costs.
Why is that?
I'm I don't like to do, go through the normal motions and do the expected things. And so dating is something that kind of comes with a set of rules and expectations and guidelines. And I'm not a rule follower. I hate guidelines. And I don't like expectations. I like things to just be very free flowing and moment to moment, and how they develop naturally. So when it comes to dating and expectations, there's kind of a set demand already placed upon it that I shy away from. So yeah.
Do you think the gay scene in Rochester is easy to date, or it's kind of, let's say, the gay scenes are quite hard?
Well, the gay scene in general everywhere is difficult. There is a lot of variables that come into play within the community itself and the scene itself. So yeah, I think it could be easy for a lot of people who are in it for the dating and whatnot. As far as substance, I think it's a little few and far between.
I see. All right. Next one. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Before the next question, as we're talking about being gay, tell me how was growing up as a gay boy in Rochester?
It was easy. I never had any difficulties with any of it, honestly. It was never a point of contention. I think the most difficult part for me with it was fitting into the scene in the community, especially because I was so married to my career, which really demanded a lot of my attention. So dividing that, people had a hard time with it. But as far as growing up with it, I was lucky because it was a non-issue.
I see. All right. Next question for you is, what does your friends, what they do that comforts you the most?
Saying hello. Yeah, just being there. I think the communication and initiation and acknowledgement. Yeah, I mean, saying hello is great, good enough for me.
And then your best friends, they live as well in Rochester?
Sorry?
Your best friends, they live as well in the same city as you?
No, I've not spent my entire life here. I've spent most of my life elsewhere. Okay. So I have best friends all over the world. Wow. A lot of my very good friends are far older than I am. The people that I'm most close to or connected to are a good 30 years older than I am, 40. But I kind of have very good people all over the world. Yeah.
Next question. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Next question for you is, what are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
Let's see. I'm in the middle of creating a new bucket list since I finished the last one. Okay. Skydiving would be one. What would be another one? Coming up with 2 more would be on my bucket list.
Okay, so you have time for that.
Yeah. Pretty much if it was something that was on the list, I got it done. I did not, I'm not one to kind of deny something. And if it inspired me, I did it and got it done. So I've experienced a lot of very broad, unique things in my life. And the only thing I have yet to really kind of do is skydiving. So everything else, I'm one that if something I recognize as a fear of mine, I like to chase my fears and conquer them and face them. So there was a period in time when I had a little leisure enough to kind of jump into those realms of doing. So yeah, I've got 1 on it and 2 more I've got to figure out yet.
And skydiving, do you think you're gonna do it soon, or it's gonna take a while for you to kind of get ready for it?
I've always been ready for it. It just hasn't kind of presented itself in the right timing of it all. So it'll happen. It's just one of those things that will happen eventually. I would say it'll probably be in the next 10 years.
Okay, good one. Next question, Michael, let's do it. Before the next question, tell me, what did you like the most about working with horses? And also, what was the most challenging part?
So what I like best about working with horses is all the good I was able to kind of accomplish with it. It wasn't just working with the horses itself. There was a lot of growth for myself and people. I saw a lot of good transformation come out of it, especially, with the horses and with people. And that was more soul fulfilling than desire fulfilling. So the best thing I liked about it was the fact that I think they're a great agent and tool of God to really help people go through the things in life that are the hardest and find their way through it. I also I love the fact that, what they gave me in life was pretty brilliant.
Oh, and the most challenging part, in your opinion?
So the most challenging part about it was dealing with people. I had to learn how to understand and relate to people early on. So the challenging part would be the people, but also attaching your money to your passions. So when money and heart are involved, it's a tricky balancing act. So the money aspect and could get in the way sometimes. And by that, I mean, because it was my passion, in my career, in my livelihood, but also it was my greatest love of all. That was a tricky part to balance out both, to not let one drown the other part of it.
I see. Okay. Next question for you is, what makes you a unique person?
Well, I definitely do not conform to the norm. like, I don't have anything that's a favorite. I don't have a favorite color. I don't have a favorite this or that. I'm very broad and very diverse in many aspects of my being. So, and the fact that I can appreciate, understand, and respect everybody's choices, whether good or bad or indifferent. I have a great way of resonating with it so that it is understood and appreciated, whether or not it was the effect of it was great or negative.
Amazing. Right, I have 3 questions left for you.
Okay.
Let's do it. Sorry?
I like 3. 3's good.
Actually, 3 is my lucky number, actually.
I'll go with that too. So yeah, me too.
Next question for you is, I think this one is going to be very easy for you to answer. What was your favorite thing to do as a kid?
Talk to God. That was my favorite as a kid.
Can you share one of those talks or one of your beliefs that when you think about, you go like, okay, that was something that left a message in my life or left a moment and something, a conversation that you remember?
Let's see. As a kid?
Yeah.
Let's see. I remember walking to school once as a kid and having anxieties about marriage and getting married, and the fact that I was worried that I would never get married, but I also in turn really didn't want to. So my promise and conversation was that if I did not get married, then I would do his work, so to speak. So that was, it must have been between kindergarten and first grade. And having been a ring bearer in a wedding early on and seeing it all and watching them have to like kiss in front of the whole audience, to me, I was like, oh my God, that's scary. So, yeah.
That's sweet. And did you have always had this connection with God as a child, like those conversations that somehow comforts your heart?
Every day of my life, yeah. And very early on, there was a greater depth of conversing that was a little beyond the norm for a child.
Beautiful. Beautiful to hear, Michael. I love that. 2 questions left for you. Let's do it. But before the next question, I would like you to share through your career work with horses, yeah? I would like to share like a moment in your career that you go like, okay, that was a very special moment. Your connection with horses, like something that happened to you, connect with the horse, something that you go like, okay, that's something very special that's always going to have a special place in my heart.
So I had a knack for taking horses that were destroyed, so to speak, whether a lot of race horses that were broken from racing on their way to slaughter, or broken physically, emotionally, mentally, that were deemed no longer safe or worthy. And I took them on and worked with them and basically aided in the transformation of them doing a complete 180. So I always like to take the shit and turn it to gold. So each one of them that I came in contact with was a very brilliant experience, that as much as I gave to them, they gave back to me. So, there was horses that people just could not and would not take on, that I would graciously take on and had taken on. So there was rescues that had thoroughbreds sitting in them for years that nobody would adopt, and I got together with them and worked it out where I would take them on and work with them and then find them their next best thing in life. So, wow. Yeah, I mean, there was times, that it was impossible or seemed impossible, and then not that long after that, it was just transformational.
Can you pick one of your favorite horse, the name of him?
So one of my favorites was Archie Comics. He was very spastic, very wild, very rogue, very animated, and very uncontrollable. And I had a rider that liked to make horses fire them up. So I kind of put the two of them together, and I figured I would put fire with fire, and they connected, and I took them all over the East Coast, and they were unbeatable for 3 years. He was little, very tiny horse, and he could jump the moon. So he won everything, and they won everything, and he was small but mighty, but people loved to come watch him go because he was just impressive. But underneath it all, that wasn't who he was to begin with. And so it was a great connection, and there was a lot of gratification in that on a lot of levels, especially, when you're in your competing and that's your, you like to win. So that one in particular, he was, the two of them would have been very tough. And so Archie Comics was a cool one that I had.
Wow, amazing. Next question for you is, what was your worst foot and mouth moment?
Oh God. I've had so many. Well, I guess I would be, one that comes to mind most recently was when I was out in public and came across two gentlemen, and they, we ended up in a conversation, and I had assumed that they were father and son, just by the way they interacted. And I made a comment like, well, maybe your father's just kind of looking out for your best interests. And they both turned to each other and started laughing, and that wasn't the case at all. But I had assumed that that was it. So that I chuckled a little bit more, but I realized, the reality of it. But yeah.
Wow. Oops.
Yeah. That's quite common for me. I often put my foot in my mouth and giggle about it, but.
Ready for the last question?
Sure.
Let's do it. Last question, Michael. Before the last question, people watching the interview right now, they would like to start to work with horses, different ways or different fields. What would be your best piece of advice?
Take the rule book and the textbooks and everything you are been taught, and throw it out, burn them up, and don't believe in it, and go your own way.
Okay, the message is out there. Last question for you is, who has been the most influential person in your life?
Oh, my mother.
Tell me why.
Well, we've always been close, and our relationship has had many degrees and levels. And she would be one person that, whether parent or not parent, the communication, I think, between us has always played a pivotal role in myself and my inner discoveries.
I see. Amazing. She'll be very happy to know that when she watched the interview. Okay, it's not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Money.
Evil.
Family.
Necessity.
One word for love.
There is a word for it. Unconditional.
Life.
Beautiful.
How about sex?
Interesting.
Politics.
Comical.
Religion.
Misunderstood.
Fear.
False.
Okay. Friendship.
Blessing.
Desire.
Passion.
Regrets.
None.
Success.
Empty.
Wish.
Always.
Happiness.
Easy.
One word for Rochester.
Boring.
One word for USA.
Regrettable.
One word for God.
Simple.
And the last one now, horses. One word.
Amazing.
Okay. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your lovely mom for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, what is the most beautiful thing about Michael, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What she would say?
Let's see. She would say that he makes things fun to do, no matter how hard it may be. And he, I guess she would say that, he's pretty deep. And what does he still need to work on? Everything.
Interesting. Let's play now Michael in the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Michael, you can ask me a question now.
All right, let's see. If you had 3 days to accomplish the biggest thing in your life, what would the biggest thing in your life be?
Wow, amazing question. I love the question. If I had 3 days to accomplish the biggest thing in my life, what that would be? Right, I think the first thing that came to my mind right now, it would be, I would have those 3 days, I would go back to Brazil, and I would make sure that I would have the most beautiful time with my mom. It doesn't matter what. I would make sure that we would spend the best that we always never had or always had in our lives together. I would be by her side, like make sure that she would be the most, the happiest person, like in the world for that moment. That's what I
Cool.
would,
Cool.
for sure. Michael, did you enjoy the interview?
I did. Thank you.
Thanks so much for taking the time and for being kind and sweet and accept my invitation. Thanks so much.
You're
But
welcome. Thank you.
before you go, if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
You do you and let them do them.
I like that. Amazing. Simple as that. I love it. I love
Awesome.
it. Michael, thanks so much and keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure. Take care.
Thank you. Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.